Hello, welcome to Infinite Prattle. I don't know what today's episode is going to be about, surprise, surprise. I've been away for a couple of weeks, so I think I'm just going to talk about what I've been up to and what I'm planning to be up to, and yeah, let's see how that goes.
Hello and welcome to
Infinite Prattle!
Unscripted, unedited prattle on everything, hosted by me, Stephen. Listen, like, share and subscribe, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Infinite Prattle. Thank you for joining me. I've got my new glasses on and the light is shining right in them on my video, so I'm sorry about that. I'll probably take these off because that's going to really annoy me. I hope you've been well. You'll be getting 2 episodes today, to be honest, but the day this releases, you'll be getting 2 episodes because I've been away on holiday and I planned to upload some content while I was away. I recorded one on the cruise ship. I was on a cruise, lucky me. It was very nice, thank you very much for asking. And I was going to upload it from the ship. I keep wanting to call it a ferry, it's not a ferry. Unfortunately, it would not let me. The download speed was good, but the upload speed was not great, and I'm guessing that was to maximise the download speed for people. All very well and good, but it cost me 60 quid for 24 hours access. Ouch. More on that in my vlog that's coming up, and probably in this episode. Yeah, so I'm back now. I'm going to take these glasses off because that's really doing my head in. These are my new glasses, and I really love them, but apparently they don't love reflections. They are glass. Yeah, so I couldn't upload it, so you'll be getting a bonus double episode today. I couldn't post on social media about it because I forgot to do that because I ran out of internet access. Then remembered once my internet had gone, thinking I should have posted saying I couldn't upload it. So apologies for that. But the bonus is you'll get a cruise ship. Hopefully you will, if everything goes right, because my computer is dire at the moment, and I'm ordering a new one today, hopefully. Get an episode recorded on the cruise ship, and an episode recorded now. So if you're listening to this one and thinking the episode numbers don't make any sense, that is why. There are a couple of video ones and I still need to update as well and upload because my computer is buggered and keeps... It says it's full and it's a big thing. So very, very annoying. So yeah, I went away on a cruise. Myself, my wife, Sarah and her mum, Gail, and we had a lovely time, to be fair. We went to the Caribbean, so we flew from Manchester in England to Bridgetown in Barbados and picked up the cruise ship there, which is a P&O cruise ship called Britannia, named after, I believe, the Royal Yacht after it was decommissioned. So kind of Britannia's, P&O's flagship cruise ship now. Not the biggest, but their flagship. It's the first time we've ever done a cruise for any of us. It's the first time Gail had flown long haul as well. So we won't talk about the flights by TUI, they were a bit crap. But it was lovely being in the Caribbean. Lovely warm weather. I did get a bit sunburn on my belly because stupidly I'd been putting sun cream everywhere. Took my t-shirt off where I hadn't put any sun cream because I had a t-shirt on. Had a short little dip in the pool. And I was stood around drying off, and Gail came out and she got on a sun lounger, and I lay down and thought I'll just dry off in the sun for 20 minutes. Which in this country would be fine. You would not have an issue with that, I don't think. Not that I'm promoting bad practice in the sun. But yeah, I lay there for 20-25 minutes with no protection on my belly. Arms were fine because I'd put cream on. But yeah, pretty much from here, like just below like my beard line, basically, from like my collarbone maybe, all the way down to the overhang of my belly, I will say, disgustingly. Because I am a bit chunky at the moment. Was just red, and it was quite tight. You know, you get sunburn and you feel it tightening. And I think I was probably borderline getting proper bad sunburn, but I think I must have put my t-shirt on and come out of the sun just in time before it got really bad. But it's still a bit red now. and it peeled after a few days, which was disgusting. It was like, do you remember when you were a kid and you just put PVA glue? I don't know if people did this and whether they do this in other countries, but when you were a kid and you put PVA glue on your hands and let it dry and then peeled it off, it was very satisfying. It was a thing that definitely any British person watching this more than likely did. Yeah, it was like that. It was coming off in sheets. I've never had a peel where you could peel sections of skin like 3 inches square. It was pretty grim, but weirdly satisfying at the same time. So the cruise was 13 days, 12 nights, I think it was, officially. So we landed in Barbados. And we technically, as my manager pointed out, depressingly, we cruised back to Southampton in the UK. So we had a few days around the Caribbean, stopped in several ports. Obviously, we were in Barbados. Didn't see much of Barbados because that was the day we embarked the ship. Then we went to St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Barbuda and Antigua. And I think that was it. Did we do any others? And then we had 5 days on the Atlantic Ocean, which is insane. You realise how big the ocean is once you've sailed across it. I think when you fly somewhere and you see clouds and you kind of like, it's out of your brain a little bit. But when you're actually sailing across it and you're looking out and you're thinking, I can't see anything, there's nothing. I know we stopped at the Azores, however you want to pronounce it. I said it quite posh then, didn't I? We stopped there in Porto Delgado, I think it's called, just for a day. We always arrived in the ports in the morning, departed in the evening, and sailed overnight to the next place, apart from when we had our 5 days at sea. And then when we left Porto Delgado, it was 3 days back to Southampton. So we had 8 days at sea, which is quite long, but the ships are huge and there's so much to do. And I've got to have a vlog coming out about it. So I'm gonna get that uploaded. I've got another couple, I think, in the barrel as well that I can fire soon. Again, I'm waiting for my computer to I'm gonna order my computer, wait for that to arrive before I think probably get them done. At the moment, my laptop's just crashing and saying there's no space on my computer, and it's just basically I'll spend like 20 minutes doing a video, 25 minutes doing a video, and just before I come to like actually export it, it'll just corrupt itself, and then I have to start again, and it's done that several times. So the couple of videos that are missing from YouTube, that's why. Luckily, so far, touch wood, I've managed to export the audio first before it corrupts, so hopefully I'll be able to do that with the other ones. Anyway, I really enjoyed the cruise. It was really relaxing. It went really slow, and that's not a bad thing. I never once felt like, oh, I wish I was back in the UK. I don't think I've had a holiday for a long time where time seemed to be dilated somewhat, to use kind of a sci-fi way of putting it. It just didn't seem rushed. I've got loads of stuff going on at work at the moment, the threat of redundancy, and I was actually able to like kind of forget about that somewhat. Hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully that my main job will be safe, but I wanted to use the time for the cruise obviously to relax, kind of push that out of my brain. And I took my iPad and a keyboard with me, because I really want to write some stuff, really want to try and write some of my books. And one of them that I'm writing, there's an episode from the Stephen Speak days called Oi Dickhead, Where's My Train? And that's an excerpt of a draft version of one of the chapters, and that's what the book's called. It's about trains, my stories from trains, but it's like a memoir of my time on the railway. The funny stories, distressing stories sometimes as well. It's not all shits and giggles. There's some serious stories in there as well. But yeah, I really focused on the writing. I got loads done. I wrote, I think I'd got about 5,000 words of that book written. Some of them were drafts, some of them were stories, maybe 7,000. But I've currently sit at 23,500 words. So I wrote roughly about 16 to 18,000 words. And to put that in context, that's like a short novella. So 20,000 words is about 80 pages, I believe, between 65 and 80 pages, depending on how it's formatted. So yeah, I wrote a lot. I had like chapter names with like a brief thing. So it was like this chapter and a quick, just to trigger my memory, remember this story about such and such and such and such, write about that. So I edited some of the ones I'd already kind of written, and then went into the ones with notes and expanded some of them. So I probably wrote 4 or 5 complete chapters and edited some others. So I'm quite happy with that. Maybe more than that, actually. I think I wrote more chapters, like maybe 6 chapters. So I'm really happy with that. It's been something for a while that has been like a splinter in my brain, knowing I need to do it, knowing I need to sit down, just getting that kind of time when you don't feel guilty about it, and also when your brain's calm enough to actually get into it. And that ship time kind of give me that. I would just take myself off of my tablet and my keyboard, go and grab a Costa coffee on board. Yes, they served Costa coffee. Can't escape it. And I would sit with a cappuccino and nurse it while doing loads of notes and writing. And I was actually quite impressed and quite happy with some of the stuff I wrote. And I read one of the things to Sarah, and she was nearly in tears about how good it was. And I was like, oh my God. And I know she's a bit biased because she's my wife, and you know, she's kind of got that connection with me. But I thought, God, if someone else reacts half as good as that, then maybe I'm onto a winner. So I was really pleased, and it spurred me on. So I didn't sit for hours at a time doing it, but I probably spent a little bit of time most days doing something. And I feel that I achieved something on holiday. I read a little bit of my book as well. I took with me. I've got a Kindle, so I had lots of books with me technically. But I read a couple of times my book. I finished 2 audiobooks, which is good. Just walking around the ship, in between sitting down and drinking coffee. So yeah, really productive holiday really for me, in the sense of not just like relaxation and first time going to the Caribbean, but just doing things that I wanted to do, and getting some stuff out of my brain into the writing that I'm trying to do. And yeah, I'm really pleased. I just hope I can kind of carry this momentum on a little bit. Well, not a little bit. I want to carry the momentum on and finish that book, at least to a draft version where I can hand it over to one of my friends or someone to say, can you read through this and tell me what you think, like let me know what you think, and trying to get it in some sort of structured order, because at the moment it's literally just chapter. There's kind of themes going on, so I'm not sure whether to like link the themes together. There's some dark parts of it as well about death on the railway, so I think I'll bundle them together as like a section that takes a turn and then turns the other way and goes back into more light-hearted things. But with the other ones that are connected, I want to like space them out and say like this type of topic, story 1, and kind of mix and match them throughout the book, or whether to keep them all as like a grouped set of chapters about the same theme. So it's something I need to work on, and I think that's probably the feedback I'll get and ask for when I maybe pass it over to some people to review for me. But it's exciting. I started writing another book as well, and I need to actually get the first one done. That's kind of finished, and I'm just I need to get motivated again to like really give it a good draft, make sure it's how I want it to be. And I was in talks with an illustrator who used to work with my friend, and she's now a tattooist. And a couple of years ago we were chatting about it, and I asked her if she would illustrate it, and she said she would. Then she went off to basically train into being a tattooist, and said, we'll have to put that on the back burner while I do my training, because that's what I want to do as a job. And now she's doing that. So I need to contact her again and say, right, let's knuckle down and let's see if we can do this, because I want to get that out there. And I know she does. It's something that, it's my dream to publish a book, and to publish a children's book would be ace. And she would love to illustrate a children's book. So we've both got a joint interest there. It's just, how do we publish a book? But yeah, while I was away as well, I just wanted to like just enjoy the moments more. And I think, having never been on a cruise, I would probably go on another one. Well, I would go on another one. It's not probably, I would. But I think what I found from the ship was, because there was so many activities going on, it did kind of take that out of your brain. However, the activity booklet they give you every day does actually cause me some anxiety. It's like anyone that's had a Radio Times or a TV guide, it was like that every day. It was literally like from 7 in the morning all the way through to like midnight. It was just like a list of activities of things you can do. But I think partly that being planned so well enabled me to like take my brain out, especially the not thinking about food. It was buffet service, and there was some restaurants as well. So really really relaxing holiday. And while we were away, we were having the roof done. That's kind of a little stressful because you've got builders at your house when you're not there. But my dad's a champion, and he was kind of letting them through the back gate and popping in and checking on stuff. And Sarah's uncle came round and did the gardening one day because he likes gardening but doesn't have a garden of his own, and he came round and did a bit of weeding and stuff. So we were very lucky that, you know, we have these people in our lives. But the builders were in, and there was a few problems with that, but they seem to have done a good job on the roof. We can't really see it properly because of the scaffolding still up. But we've come home to a new roof, which we've needed for a long time. It was really the first thing we should have done with the house, to be honest, is to like make sure the roof was fine and seal us in. We've had a bit of damp in the house and such things, so we probably should have done that. But it's one of the things, we were inexperienced. We'd never kind of renovated a house before, and the roof looked fine, and it's an expense that we didn't really want to have gone out of our bank at the time, because we needed to basically do the electrics and the central heating and all the plaster work and all that. And the roof was like, we'll save up for that another time because it's like separate to the house. And then, you know how things go. You save up, we spend it on something else. Oh, the roof will wait. And then we've had a bit of damp in the bedroom. We're pretty convinced that it probably is the roof, and we probably should have done it a long time ago. So it's now done. Hopefully it'll be okay, and hopefully they've done a good job. They seem to have done. They seem pretty trustworthy. It's a problem when you get people in, though. It's really hard to know whether they're, you know, the right people, qualified, not going to bodge it up on you. You hear some horror stories, don't you, of people having people in their houses and either taking the money and running, or taking the money and doing a job, but it's a terrible job, and yeah, and then having to pay out again to get someone in to rectify that problem. So hopefully everything's going to work out all right. We had a new bed as well before we went away, so we had one of these adjustable beds. It's all going on in my life. So Sarah's with her illness, like
battery below 50%.
I sometimes need that as well, because I suffer terribly from hay fever in the summer, and sometimes being elevated really helps breathe. Like it helps your sinuses. So we needed a new mattress, and we were looking for a mattress, and God, mattresses are expensive. So we decided that instead of buying a mattress, we would buy a brand new bed at even more cost. But you know, it's done now. We've got a new bed, 2 new mattresses, because it's like separate single individual beds, and you can rotate individual beds. So she could be set up, and I could be lying flat, or I can have my legs in the air, and it's a marvel. The remote controls for them have run out already, though. They're on, like, they both have got a remote control, and both of the sets of batteries have run out. But they were like cheapo ones. So the job for today is put new batteries in the remotes for the beds, which is bonkers. We do feel a little old that we've got these, though. We feel like we're pensioners, because you see, you kind of associate a bed like that with an older person that, you know, is infirm. But we decided that, you know, if we're going to spend £1,700 on a mattress, which is insane, why not get this bed and the separate mattresses and just do it, because it is going to be beneficial to us. So yeah, it's all going on. Next job for me is trying to sort the wardrobes out, because we had a little bit of damp in there, hence the reason we've really gone to get the roof done. Sarah's waited 6 years for a set of wardrobes, and now we've done them, and I don't think they're breathing properly due to maybe some moisture in the wall because of the roof. And I'm hoping that's what it is, at least anyway. So I've managed to get some of the mould out of there, because there was a bit of mould forming, and we've aired them out, and I've bought some paint to seal them. But I need to really air them out first and make sure they're okay. I think I might put some air vents at the bottom and the top, just to make sure that the air's circulating through the cavity. But yeah, it's just a pain. The house, you know, as I was saying the other week, a house just takes you money. But after that, it's just organising our stuff. This room is now an absolute tip again, as you can see behind me, because I moved some stuff from downstairs up here. I have baseball caps everywhere. I've got some new ones. There'll be a vlog on that soon. Because I've bought quite a few new ones since I did the last videos. And I've still got all the other ones that I'm going to go through. So there will be more cap vlogs if you're into caps. But yeah, I've just had a lovely 2 weeks, to be honest. It's been so nice, so relaxed. Spending quality time with Sarah, not having to rush to work. You know, she can just focus on herself as well. She had some treatments in the spa on board and made a really nice connection with one of the spa people called Diana. So Diana, if you end up watching this, thank you. You know, you really helped her out, and she really enjoyed talking to you. But yeah, everyone on board that ship was amazing, to be fair. Like, they work so hard, their shifts that they do, and they're always so polite and courteous. But I'll say more about that in the vlog whenever it comes out. But yeah, I just try not to think about work now. I'm back to work in a couple of days, and I'm just trying to kind of get out of my head and focus on the here and now, and whatever happens at my work will be. I can't control that, really. It does scare me, but hopefully everything will work out okay. And you never know, my book, I might knuckle down and do my book, and that might be a success, and I might not have to get another job. One can dream. You never know, my podcast might go viral. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, I'm just glad that I was able to go away, chill out. Because a lot of the time when I go on holiday, I don't relax for the first week. It takes me a week, maybe more, to like actually get into the swing of things, of knowing I'm not going to work. And then by the time I've actually properly relaxed and sank into myself, it's like, we're going home tomorrow, and I'm like, no, I need another week just to put the put the icing on the cake and actually learn how to relax. So I say it's nice that this is the first time in a long time, I think. Probably think since me and Sarah went away for our first holiday to Greece. I even though I was ill while we were away, I really enjoyed that holiday. It was really relaxing. I think that it was the newness of maybe going away with someone new as well. It really chilled me out. And I had probably a less stressful job, and I wasn't at threat of losing my job as well at the time. So multiple factors. But yeah, it's just so nice to relax. And I think it's probably the takeaway from this video. You know, you need that space for yourself. You need that. Be kind to yourself. And I'm going to try and adapt that here at home. Me and Sarah were talking while we were on the ferry or on the cruise ship, saying like, we need to make more time for ourselves. Watch less TV, be on our phones less, because we didn't have internet for most of the time. And it was nice not to. It was annoying sometimes, because you'd be like, who's that person? And you forget how quickly you just go on your phone and Google something. But it was also nice not to be connected with the world. And I think that's partly what enabled me to write, because I hadn't got that distraction in my hand all the time. I hadn't got the distraction from watching Netflix or YouTube. Even though I took some downloaded content with me, I never watched it. I started watching X-Files one day. Watched about 10 seconds and went, I don't want to do that. I'm on a cruise ship. What am I doing? I'm starting to do something productive. So I forced myself to write. Well, not forced myself. I realised that I'd actually prefer writing something. So I think I need to like maybe put my phone in airplane mode a lot more, or have a phone safe to lock my phone away. But yeah, some lessons learned maybe. I don't know. Hopefully so. But yeah, that's the podcast. I've been talking for like 24 minutes. Insane. Thank you very much if you've only tuned in for the first time. I talk about many different things, so thank you for tuning in today. Hopefully you'll tune in again. If you want to listen to the audio-only version, you can. And vice versa, if you listen to the audio-only version, if you can say them, there's a YouTube version where you can see my face, if that is something you would like. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, take care of yourselves and keep on prattling.
Thanks for listening to Infinite Prattle with your host Stephen. Follow me on social networks at Infinite Prattle, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much.